Good morning, everyone. It's Monica here with Scrap Saturdays. I'm hoping that you're having a wonderful Saturday so far. Here's another 12 by 12 layout video. I'm going to give you some more inspiration. As you can see, I'm still using the same paper from my last video, and that's because this is just a continuation of the same page that I was working on in my album. So it only made sense for me to, one, use up my scraps, and two, make the pages coordinate and flow nicely. And if I do have any other remaining scraps, I will cut them into cards that are 3 by 4 inches and round the corners and use them in the pockets of the pages for the album. Here I'm just cutting out these rectangle shapes into some pennants, and the frame that you see there, the wood grain blue frame, I cut out with my Cricut using my Wild card cartridge, and I cut that out at 8 inches, and it's actually a layer for the inside of a card. So I think it's just like how they have liners for the cards or liners for the envelopes on that cartridge. That would be the inside of a liner of a card that would have a window type frame to it. So I kind of was going for the Polaroid type look, but I knew that I wanted to put my title on the bottom half. So I do trim it later on in the video, but in the beginning I leave it just as it is, and I may have taken off maybe 1/2 inch on each side, so the sides of the frame may have been a little bit thicker, but it did not put that on the video. Here again I'm just trimming out some more of that paper, and you can see where my speech bubbles were from my previous video. And this is a photograph of myself and my dad at the cottage. So again, the woodsy outdoor paper is just perfect. But on a personal note, it's just so much easier. This is the same day that I finished the other layout. I just continued. As you can see, I'm still wearing my turquoise sweater. And that's how I get a lot of my scrapbooking done. It's on Saturdays in the morning when the light in my room is beautiful and I've got time for myself, and I just go to town. And sometimes, yes, the layouts look repetitive, or I'm just using the same paper and the same products that are out on my table, but I feel good about it, and things get done and my books get filled, and that's all that matters. Here I'm using some of the white felt letters, again from the dollar store. This time I'm giggling because none of the letters that I needed are missing. The title is short and sweet. It just says My Dad. And I really like the white. I like that it brings out the furriness from my fur hat that I'm wearing in the photo. And the white edges, I purposely didn't cut down the photo because I just wanted it to look like that, a little bit rustic. Again, I'm using some more of the Studio Calico feathers just to bring out some of the wood tones that I wanted for the picture. But the leaves on the background of that darker brown photo or pennant on the down the middle, it actually kind of has the same leaf feather look to it, if that makes any sense. So I liked it, and it worked well for me. So here I'm just playing around with my title and seeing how much I want to crop off the bottom of that frame, just to make it a little bit shorter. And I will be playing around with that cartridge a little bit more. There are some more cards that do have some more of those liners that I believe I can even make more of a Polaroid type looking frame. I've pulled out some embroidery floss, and this is just generic, no name brand, just from my local dollar store again, and it's just some beige-ish type color, and I'm just wrapping it around that one pennant just to bring in some more texture and detail and just different types of materials on your pages. It just makes your page come together. And I'm just tying a little bow on it. I'm cutting off the ends just because they were a bit frayed and too long. So my difficult challenge always comes in at this part where I have to start gluing everything down. And I'm just trying to sneak in that last speech bubble that I had from the other page, but I didn't really like it. It didn't work out. Here I'm adding some of my white photo corners. They're the same type that I use, except they're not the gold and silver one this time. And I changed my mind, and I thought before I start adding those, because they have adhesive on the back, I do have to put down my base layers. And I'm just using my ATG to do that. And this paper does have, like I said before, a bit of sheen on it, so if I do want to lift it up with just one swipe of glue, I can still play around with that. And so I think I reversed it. I think I reversed the red on the other side, as I can see from the beginning, so sometimes things don't always work out like when I first start out. But I like it in the end. I like that the trees are out on the other side there, or the leaves. And I'm just putting down the frame into place. And now I'm actually going to add the corners. And they have a little bit of an embossing detail to them, so they're very nice. And again, I still have to go pick up some more. I never went to, I went to the one different dollar store to get the felt letters, but not to get some more photo corners before my next bunch comes out. And I actually cut down that center pennant a little bit more, and that was off camera as well. I just didn't like it to be so long the way it was before. And these are peel and stick felt letters, and they're very forgiving, so one of the D's I believe I put down and then I peel it back up because I want to adjust it a little bit. So they're very forgiving stickers, but once they're down, so I really like them, and they're just thick enough and bold enough font that they stand out quite nicely. Again, on this layer I won't be doing any direct journaling. It's almost like a two-page layout spread, I would say, for this one, for the previous layout and this one, so there is enough journaling going on with the Project Life type pocket pages that it almost takes away that worry. So maybe there's another good point to doing a Project Life type album just for your everyday or your vacation albums. You can not worry so much of where your layout needs to save space for journaling, or if you don't know what you want to write but you love just putting down a simple title, there's another reason to go for it, because sometimes it's easier to write something on one journaling card and sum everything up than having to do it for every single layout. I'm just going to be taking my Tim Holtz ruler and my X-Acto knife and just cleaning up those bits and pieces that are sticking up from the top, just because I had angled the layers of pattern paper. I just don't like it, and I go over it quite a few times. The paper is very good quality. It's actually very thick, so just to clean that up a bit. And I didn't mention, but that's a Recollections I Heart Mustache washi tape, and I really liked it. For as long as I've ever known my dad, he's always had a mustache or a beard of some sort, so I thought it kind of had dual purpose meaning, the I heart mustache for my dad's sake and the I heart for what I feel for my own father. So you can interpret it any way you want, either I love or I heart. So that was fun. The washi tape bring in some fun kind of whimsical touch to the layout. Here again, that trusty handy dandy Studio G chevron clear stamp. And here again I'm using that spray can, spray paint stamp set that I've used in previous layouts. I really like them. They don't come out as dark or as thick as if it was on paper that would absorb the ink. Again, it's the same VersaFine black onyx ink that I always use, but I liked it. I liked the way that it came out because it was very subtle but yet very strong. I know that doesn't make sense, but in person it looks awesome. And we were outdoors, and my dad's always doing all kinds of stuff. Gathering wood, cutting up trees, cutting the grass, all over the place. So it was perfect. It really turned out great. And so I've brought out my little spice rack spinner, as you can see in the bottom right corner, and I'm just looking for some embellishments to add to the page. And there is a little green tab top, and it has a star cut out, and I liked it because it brought out the green from the pattern papers on the trees. And here I'm searching for some owl brads, and I got those as a gift from my sister-in-law, and they are the cutest owl brads ever. They're about Two-toned, three-toned of the same color. So the blue has got 3 tones of blue and the green one has 3 tones of green. And it was the perfect color match to the paper collection that I was using. And again, I'm just using my paper piercer to position the owls where I wanted them together so they could represent myself and my dad. And they're just so cute. They're not as whimsical as the other owls that I used on the stickers. They're a little bit more serious, but I like them. And so this layout came about really quickly. I think it only took me about 20 minutes. Thanks guys for everything. I hope you're enjoying my layouts. Have a great, happy Saturday.